So a few weeks ago I hit 1,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel, so I thought I would just do a quick Q&A just to mark that milestone. Before I start answering the questions though, I just want to say thanks to everyone that's subscribed to the channel so far. It's pretty crazy to have this amount of subscribers only maybe 2.5 or 3 months into posting videos, so thank you for that. Okay, so let's get into the questions. So the first question is, what inspired you to start this YouTube channel? So back in February, late February, I made a TikTok account and I started posting some videos of me just playing sort of backing tracks for people to play Celtic music over. So I did that in late February, and then I posted, I can't remember which video it was, but a video that I posted sometime in March just suddenly started getting lots and lots of views on TikTok. And I realised that obviously Celtic music is not the biggest genre in the world, but I realised that people really hadn't seen sort of Celtic style guitar very much. And particularly because normally there's people playing melodies over the top of what I would be doing on the guitar. I think it sometimes gets a little bit ignored, the guitar playing. So when you put it in isolation by itself, I think obviously there's a lot of people that play guitar in the world, but they hadn't seen this style of guitar before. So when I noticed the response to the guitar playing on TikTok, a lot of people were asking as well, could I teach them how to play this kind of stuff? So I thought I would just make the YouTube channel and do the odd tutorial, and also just kind of shine a light a bit more on this sort of Celtic style rhythm guitar playing. So the next question is, what would you say are some of the trad tracks or albums with the best rhythm guitar? So off the top of my head, I would say Rura, Emar, they're two Glasgow based bands, and then also Project Smock. Pablo, who plays guitar in Project Smock, he's great, and Ali Levac, who plays the whistle in that band, is a very good friend of mine. We used to live together. I realised actually that I never really post any videos of me playing in context of trad stuff with people playing with me on this channel. So if you want to hear me playing more trad guitar in context, me and Ali Levac from Project Smock have a band called Glyn that you can check out on Spotify. That's just Glin. And also I played guitar on the first Talisk album, and also on Man's album Andala, and then also on a fiddle player called Ryan Young. His new album's coming out quite soon as well, so I play guitar on that. So if you want to hear me playing more in context trad guitar, you can check them out as well. So the next question is, do you ever play in dadgad? So in Celtic music, again, normally people play the guitar in either drop D, dadgad or standard tuning. So I didn't start playing Celtic guitar until I was probably about 16 or 17. So I already played the guitar before that, but I think I was quite shocked when I realised that people, particularly in Ireland and stuff, they learn the guitar from when they're very young in dadgad tuning and not in standard. So that was a bit of a shock to me, because I just assumed everyone learned in standard tuning. So the reason that I don't play dadgad now is probably because I learned in standard, but I would say as well I do prefer the sound of standard tuning over dadgad. But I don't think I've ever recorded anything with a band or anything in dadgad, but dadgad's definitely good for getting people started, sort of backing people playing tunes and stuff, melodies in Celtic, Irish, Scottish music straight away. So still a great tuning, but yeah, my preference would be standard tuning. So next question I'm going to answer is, what got you into playing guitar? So I can't remember if there was a specific thing that got me interested in guitar, but I do remember being interested in music and guitar from a very sort of young age. So I think I was maybe 7 or 8. My parents did take me for a guitar lesson, and we had this old classical guitar in the house, but the classical guitar's necks have they're very wide. So at that point my hands were just too small, I think, to enjoy the learning. So I left it for a bit, and then my brother started playing guitar. He's a very, very good guitarist as well. And I think maybe seeing him play it a lot got me interested in it again. So I think that wasn't until I was maybe 15 years old, I think. So I can't remember specifically, but I'd say probably my brother was a big part of it. But I've always loved music in general, so I probably just wanted to learn how they were playing the stuff that I was listening to. So the next question is, how much of what you're talking about on the guitar can be applied to the bouzouki? So I would say if you're talking strumming patterns, muting, and the chords, everything can be applied to it. Obviously the bouzouki's got more, you're playing almost like lines whilst you're strumming as well, so I don't tend to do that as much on the guitar. But in terms of strumming pattern, chord theory kind of things, and the sort of palm muting that's a big part of this kind of rhythmic guitar playing, all of it could be applied to the bouzouki as well. So the next question is, what type of guitars are best suited for that kind of playstyle? So I have to admit that I'm not really big into gear and stuff like that. So I own 2 acoustic guitars. I own this guitar and I own the Martin guitar that was cheaper than this guitar that I used to use for touring and, you know, flying and stuff like that. So my Martin is a dreadnought, and this guitar, this Moon guitar, is more of a classical guitar's body shape. And I prefer the smaller body guitars. I just find it suits my play style more, because I do play quite a lot of sort of top endy chords up here more. Whereas I feel the dreadnought, for the kind of Celtic music, if you're playing dadgad, a dreadnought is just, it gives you a really full tone. But for the standard tuning guitar kind of backing that I do, I just find that I get better clarity out of what I'm playing out of, you know, this kind of body shape. But I would say that it doesn't really matter. I've seen people play even classical, you know, nylon strung guitars, playing trad stuff. So it's just personal preference. So it's totally up to you. Okay, so the next question is, how long have you been playing for, and how did you get into guitar? Who are your biggest inspirations musically? So I've been playing since I was, I think, 15, and I'm 29 now, so 14 years. And I got into the guitar, so I'm originally from Inverness in the Highlands in Scotland, but for a year my family lived in Australia, and when we moved out there when I was 14 or 15, because the seasons are flipped, the school year starts at a different time of the year, so I had quite a long time off, a few months off, and my parents got me an electric guitar, a little Squire Stratocaster, and because I had so much time off and I didn't know anyone, I just used to play that all the time, and I got really, really into it. So that's how I got into the guitar in the first place. Who are your biggest inspirations musically? So even though I play Celtic guitar for a living, I would say most of my inspirations have been from more the rock and pop realm. So my favourite band ever is a band called Laney, but in my house when we were growing up, my brother would listen to a lot of, you know, more American rock music like Bruce Springsteen and people like that, and then he would also listen to bands like U2 and things like that. So I think rhythmically I play very Celtic kind of style guitar, but chordally all my chord choices normally come more from pop and rock music. So if you've ever heard me play on any album, I tend to put a lot of pop chord progressions into the Celtic tunes and stuff like that. So, but yeah, Laney I would say a big inspiration. U2, and then, you know, more modern things, I like people like Sam Fender and people like that as well. So the last question that I'm going to answer is, what's the model of your guitar, and what's your favourite acoustic guitar model? So I'm going to answer this because I get so many questions about what is this guitar. So this guitar is made by a company called Moon, a guy called Jimmy Moon. They're handmade in Glasgow, or they were when I got it anyway. But this guitar was made, I believe, with leftover wood from different projects that he had going on. So I went in intending to buy or get a guitar made for me, but this one was already made. So it's bear claw spruce on the top, it's Tasmanian blackwood sides, and it's a rosewood neck. But people often ask me, like, you know, where can I buy your guitar? And I don't think he's ever made another one with these woods again. So I'm sure you could commission one with these woods if you wanted, but it's not a sort of, it's a handmade guitar, so it's not stock, you know. I would have to say as well that this is my favourite guitar, but if I was going to buy another expensive guitar, it would probably be a Collins guitar. I believe they're American made guitars, so I've never played one of their guitars that I haven't thought was really, really nice. So thank you for watching this video, and thanks again for all the support that you give me on this channel. Really, really appreciate it, and I'll be posting loads more videos in the next few weeks and months.